A question for Commissioner Thompson. Do you have a voting conflict on this issue? Do you do business with Mosaic or any of Mosaic's contractors on Mosaic land where your business, where you get income personally at some point down the road on a corporation that you're involved with that does a orange tree trimming on land that's owned by Mosaic? Do you have contracts like that?
I have no conflict.
I'm asking you the question.
I'm answering the question. I have no conflict.
You've listed as your income last year, I think, $94,000. A great portion of that, except for the 30 grand you get for sitting there when you got your on-the-clock hat on. A great portion of that, I believe, comes from Mosaic, maybe over $100,000 a year. That's what I've heard. We've heard that you've said that they were your largest customer when you were campaigning for election to the county commission. I believe so. Anybody else hear that? That's what we've heard. So I think, and at that time in one of these meetings, you said that you have no conflict because you are a big proponent of private property rights, and that you think people should be able to do whatever they want with their land, and that you have no conflicts at all with Mosaic Corporation. I believe you have a conflict with Mosaic. You just made a motion. I think you've got a big conflict with Mosaic Corporation. I think money goes into your pocket as a result of you doing business either directly with Mosaic or with people who manage their land, their contractors. And I think that they call you up, you take your machines out there, you trim those trees that is on land that is actually owned by Mosaic. I think that that's a conflict of interest. I think you have to abstain. I think you have to fully explain the conflict to everybody. You can't participate in any discussion at all. And then that has to go into the minutes, and then those minutes have to be read at the next meeting. You've already been submitted for an ethics complaint by Mr. Kirkland here when you were on, I think you were the chairman of the Planning and Zoning Board. You were the chairman of that, and you supported all of these mining things that came up, and he filed a complaint against you. And you skipped out on that complaint on technicality because they said the planning board is advisory only. So therefore, it might be an arm's length. They don't care what you guys say on the advisory board, unless it's yes.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Mr. Thompson.
Would you like me to make?
I would like for Mr.
I'll make two comments. First of all, the Ethics Commission, you've inaccurately summarized what they said. They found there was no probable cause to believe there was a violation, and you can't tell from the findings or any of the other things what the basis of the ruling was. Secondly, the test for whether or not a conflict exists is whether or not there's a special private gain or loss to the voting person as a result of the vote. I have no idea what kind of property that is that's coming in that overlay, whether it's Orange Grove or not, but Mr. Thompson has to make that call based on what he knows the facts to be. If he says he doesn't have one, he doesn't have one.
Sir. Go ahead.